You talked about your customers kind of taking ownership of the store and kind of giving you a heads up if things are happening. How do you best communicate safety guidelines to your customers, or how do you do it at the wash basket?
Certainly, face to face is always good. Talking about it
Yeah,
in conversations, not just going up to somebody and talking about safety, but talking about the
yeah.
improvements you made and why you're doing things. But
Hmm.
the one kernel of advice I've seen is signage, and it's a pet peeve of mine. I wasn't always aware of it, but using please instead of don't on
Hmm.
signage, like pods, like don't use pods on the washers, instead say, hey, please put pods in the washer, not the soap tray, instead of
Yeah.
using a more a little softer approach. There's the hairs on the back of the neck of people sometimes say, when you tell them don't do something, that position of authority that
Yeah.
really ticks them off. And I did that when I worked in the food industry. It was kind of
Hmm.
like that. The way we toned our message was very important.
Hmm.
And uh, so, I guess that's one piece of advice.
Hmm.
Again, training your attendants. They're going to be your on-site ambassadors if they see them working safely, putting out the yellow signs when they mop the floors, cleaning the lint filters, just um, focusing on that kind of thing.
Hmm.
It carries through, and then obviously, out of order signs. None of us want our machines out of order, but the more you have them on there, and the more they're kind of bright orange or yellow, kind of drawing attention to it, the more people go, well, geez, they don't have good maintenance here. What do they really care? And it's more of that paradigm of don't care. You really want to convey that, and I sound a little touchy-feely there, but we're owners and we care about our laundromat. We want our equipment working. I think
Right.
that's one of the best safety messages we can carry through.
Hmm. Hmm. Brian, how do you get that message across to your customers at Vallejo?
Interesting. You're talking about negative signs. That's a pet peeve of mine too. Years walking in laundromats in my old life as a dealer salesman, there would just be such a negative tone where it was just the walls were plastered with all the things you can't do. And so I really fought putting any signs up at all. And my staff has won out on a few of them. But the the outer order just is my out of order signs were I custom made them, and they say I'm sick and mom and dad have called the doctor. And so it's a little cute little cartoon instead of the big red out of order warning sign. But one of the signs that I had fought for a while is we have a lot of children that come in our place, and they want to ride in laundry carts. They want to sit on the top of the shelves. They want to climb all over everything. And so I had to finally come up with some signage about that. But that's probably the biggest thing that my staff works with customers, and just to the point where I'm willing to lose a customer over it. I mean,
Hmm.
if they cannot control their child,
Right.
and they want to push them all around and do some things. It rarely does that come to that, but we have had situations where people just want to let their kids go everywhere, and if I think it's a potential liability for us, because of course if something happens, they're not going to take any responsibility for their actions,
Hmm.
and so keeping kids off of carts, off of shelves, off of folding tables, those kinds of things. That's a big thing for us. And then going back to the security system, one other little we do have full-time staff, but if we have staff that are gone, have to go to lunch or something, or run to a doctor's appointment, our security system, we have two zones, and so we can secure the office with an alarm system while the laundry's open, and it doesn't cost a lot more to have two zones. Or if the laundromat automatic door opens at 7 and our staff, for whatever reason, can't be there till 7:15, the store doesn't have the alarm, but the office still does. And it's not a big deal, but I think I'm glad I did it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Hey, Bob,
Great.
just to go on Brian's comment about the kids, I think one of the
Yeah.
there's a
Yeah.
comment in the chat, right? You know, in my
Yeah.
stores, I have kids corners and lots of books and blocks and stuff like that. And the more you can keep those kids occupied,
Right.
mom and dad appreciate it, then the more those little hands aren't finding things that you don't want them to find. You know, I was going to say one of the ways to find safety hazard is just let let some kids run around. They'll find them, but obviously we don't want to we don't want to do that literally, but
Right.
you know, think about that type of mentality. So you know, I've got a few video games. I've got the kids corner that's a big hit. We've got a local organization that comes in and changes the books every couple of months. So the more you can keep them occupied.
Right. Right. Keep
You
them in
know,
a spot that's
yeah,
safe, and absolutely,
yeah.
definitely, children's reading and play areas are great, and they certainly have that additional safety factor too. That's a good point, Matt.